And when your political enemy does something virtually everyone approves of, right? Like taking out Osama bin Laden. How do you go about knocking it down? And this is one of the ways that conservatives and Republicans are doing it. They are starting to say, well, if it weren't for George W. Bush putting in place these policies that Barack Obama doesn't like, then we wouldn't have gotten it. And the original source for another theory, which is that Obama was actually forced by the White House to go along with this. In other words, Obama's weak. Obama didn't want to get Osama bin Laden. He didn't want to go forward on the operation, but the people around him had to convince him of it. And I started looking up, well, where did this one actually start? And it started with a blogger named Ulsterman. He's from an obscure website named News Flavor. And he says, like I said, Obama was reluctant. It was a coup within the White House to even go on this operation. And that now this is going to be another one of these stories that we're starting to hear. By the way, this guy Ulsterman, in another post, says that Obama should be arrested. So that should give you a sense, Lewis, of where this guy's coming from.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the other thing that has come up, Alex Jones has gotten in on it. A lot of people sending me messages on Facebook is this idea that the entire bin Laden death is a hoax. Okay? And there are so many reasons to, at face value, question. There's a lot of sides to this thing. And on one hand, many of the conspiracy theorists that we hear from will often say, well, what, do you just believe everything the government tells you? We hear that often, don't we?
Of course.
Just as it would be, to me, insane to believe literally, word for word, everything the government tells you, it also is insane to believe everything the government tells you is a lie. And that the government is not being truthful about anything.
Or to believe whatever some blogger tells you, word for word.
No, that's a given, Lewis. So when
is it? I don't think it is.
Well, it should be. When we start thinking about these conspiracy theories, and these range from Osama was actually dead long ago, and somehow Barack Obama made it so that George W. Bush didn't announce the death during his presidency, maybe by paying him off. And now, because his poll numbers were low, he decides to set up some kind of staged killing of Osama to get the benefit, which we are seeing in approval numbers. There are other theories that say we just didn't get Osama at all. In other words, Osama is still alive. Other theories that say we didn't really bury the body at sea, so on and so forth. And as with many of these conspiracy theories, Lewis, the onus is placed on those who believe, generally, the story that we're getting from the government, which is we may not know whether Osama used a human shield or he didn't in one of his wives, but we know that generally, on Sunday, roughly, Osama was killed by Navy SEALs, right? So we have this, as I've mentioned many times before, this reversed standard of proof when it comes to these conspiracy theories. And, I don't even know that I want to get into it that much more. I believe that the inconsistencies that we're seeing, the White House has changed some aspects. In other words, Osama was resisting, then he wasn't, he was armed, he was not armed. And the logical thing is not to assume that Osama was actually killed 10 years ago or he wasn't killed at all. To me, that you really have to be seeking out some kind of, I don't even know how to describe it, some kind of satisfaction from proving that the entire story is a lie. I believe that naturally this is a case, given how secretive the entire operation was, given that there were limited sources of information as details were coming out. These are inconsistencies that to me are within the realm of normality. I don't know. What do you think?
Well, where are these details coming from? From the Navy SEALs themselves who supposedly conducted the mission, right?
Well, it's not being revealed exactly. There was video of the event. There were people monitoring live from the White House, et cetera. So we don't know. We're getting a number of different details from different places. But to say that, well, originally the report was Osama was armed and then it turns out maybe he wasn't, does not mean to me that the entire thing is a lie.
No.
I'm
seems
sorry.
like a detail that could easily be confused, mixed up in and all the chaos that happened.
The one interesting story is that a bin Laden daughter indicated that bin Laden was captured alive and later executed. Okay, and Al Arabiya, citing Pakistani security officials, reported that the 12-year-old daughter of bin Laden saw her father executed after capture and drug aboard a helicopter. The official allegedly rejected any notion that a firefight even took place, saying not a single bullet was fired. And that, again, is, I think, not indicative that Osama was dead 10 years ago. It's hard for me to make that leap, but I am interested in this daughter story.
I'm not.
You don't care.